We are installing one of those outdoor wood boiler systems, and in this video I'm just going to show you the process from start to finish. This is the boiler we went with. It's like the Central Boiler 560. These guys didn't sponsor me or anything. Oh, that would have been so nice if they did. And I'm not saying it's like the best boiler, it's just kind of the one we got. This is the thermoplex hose that's going to go in the ground. It's just a couple of PEX lines and some spray foam. They just charge way too much for that stuff. And let me show you the basic layout. The boiler is going over here next to the miniature Tonka truck excavator, and there'll be all kinds of wood sheds and stuff. So boiler's going there. We need a pad for that. Trench line over to the house. It's got to negotiate the septic, but otherwise no power lines or anything in here, and a trench line over to the barn. So yeah, if this whole thing works out, it should heat the house and the barn. Oh, and I kind of forgot to mention, I've never run one of these things before a day in my life. I think by the end of these trenches, I might be like mediocre at it, but right now, I got no idea. At this section we got some kind of funky stuff going on, so I'm gonna kind of swing in through the foundation over there, but I got my septic pipe running right here, so it's gonna be a little hand digging. All right, this will be the form for the heating pad, and you can see that trench Mageddon is over. I got the trench to the barn here. That's the trench to the house, and there are a few funky spots. I'm gonna have to hand dig still. There's a drain in there. I didn't want to hit the excavator, so that's gonna have to be kind of cleared out carefully. I got to get this form in place and set the pad, mainly just because I got to get the heater off the trailer because I need the trailer for a job. So ideally I'd be burying lines right now, but instead I'm gonna have to pour some concrete.
Personally like having lots of human soft body parts around really heavy machinery. Whatever you saw in that video, don't try that at home.
That was just a little bit dangerous. It wasn't like totally risky.
I don't want to talk about it.
We're fine.
You get them laid out so that they weren't.
okay speed-wise? Ah, the green hose. Alright, we're just gonna pretend that putting that green beast of a snake in the trench was the easy part of the job.
I thought digging the trench was going to be the easy part of the job.
We're running the Thermoplex insulated hose under our septic line. We just want to get it deep enough. And then we're over here at the house. We got to do our penetration over there. And we're also going to run a wire in the trench. There's a little bit of water down there.
I was going to go for a little mud bath.
This ended up being a little bit more arduous and wackadelic than we imagined. The cheapo drill bit got about 7 inches and it just cannot go anymore. Went through a bunch of these adapters, kind of melted them. So right now I'm trying to just punch through the last inch with a small drill bit, and then we'll kind of do some pounding. We'll get in there. It's just been slow. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Like a rubber kind of boot.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of has flares out and covers the wall, so that it's like, oh, yeah.
I think we did these a little bit long just to be cautious, like better cut it long than too short. So we're gonna end up nipping these off so we can hook up all our pumps and do our Ys and Ts and stuff. We also, you might not have noticed, but we ran 2 electrical lines just so we can have one out here to
Power this thing.
Yeah, power this thing, and the other electrical line.
To have like an outdoor outlet on a thing.
Like a party barge or something.
Yeah. He wants a lamp post.
A lamp post.
Who am I to judge?
All right, we got backfill. I'm putting a 15 amp breaker in our panel. This is the panel in our basement. It'll be a circuit dedicated to the pumps outside. I'll probably have one more circuit running pumps in the house. Okay, this is the hot. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Okay, we're marked. It's pretty straight. It's got a little bend to it.
This has got to be the smallest PEX crimper you could have possibly ever had. Alright, the centerpiece of this whole deal right here are these 2 taco pumps. They got some shut-off valves. It's like shut-off valve, shut-off valve. That way you could dig this thing out of here and replace it. You can probably tell that I kind of left a bunch of these rings loose. You can roll with those hard copper rings, or you can do these steel rings. I kind of prefer the hard copper ones, but in this case, I didn't have a crimper for a big 1-inch hard copper rings, so I went with these little stubby dudes. They're fine, they're just not quite as good, I think. I like the solid copper ones. They're like a throwback to when copper was copper. Make sure you got room for everything. Yeah, plenty of room for these guys. These valves are like a little tight down here, but I got like a little mini twister on this one. That's gonna be okay. And then these in here, same deal, just kind of tight. Everything's kind of tight, but it's working. It still needs like all kinds of insulation and stuff. Gotta plug the pumps in, but for now, put the baby to bed and move on to the next thing. This is Melissa's patented plumb bob, which is, I think, a piece of yarn and a house key, just marking the places where the water lines are going to come through the floor. And this is in our kitchen. We've got 2 radiators, kind of like this. 2 holes. One is the steaming hot water, and the other is the lukewarm return.
Very good, good.
Secret sauce. Oh, I didn't look down below. Okay, I forgot to look what I'm possibly drilling into down here. There's a sea of plumbing and water lines and stuff, but I should be coming through like right there by the window, so it'll be okay.
No.
This is the most rudimentary copper manifold. We have used some of the more fancified plastic manivlock stuff in the past, but a combination of shortages, like unable to get the fittings for the one with all the pressures and stuff, and just my inclination to keep this a little bit simple, kind of prompted me to go this way. And then this is the 1-inch coming in and going out. You probably remember this coming into the house. 1 inch is over here, and it's going to connect up with a melange of shut-offs and pumps and stuff. So you saw the pumps outside. This is kind of like the indoor version. It's pretty much the same deal. One of those taco pumps, I think a little bit smaller than the ones outside. It's got a couple shut-offs, like one on either side. So shut off down here and then shut off over here. This is also a drain point and the fill point. It's not like the highest point in the system, but it's a lot higher than the heater outside. Still using the dollhouse sized crimpers. There's a pump. If you used to do copper plumbing, you switch over to PEX. You are probably as frustrated with it as I am, that it's just loosey-goosey. I think this is going to stabilize when it's tied in with the rest of the system. If not, I'm going to build something right here, like some kind of, I don't know, like shelf that doubles as a support at the bottom of the pump with maybe some little holders or something. I just don't want this thing moving, but I'm gonna wait on that and just see how it behaves. But I just hardwired the pump. You know, I just couldn't figure out a reason I actually wanted to put a plug on that guy. And then I'm putting the switch like right next to it, so it's like super obvious which switch runs the pump. And then that big 1-inch hot water line comes into the hot manifold, the red one, which is back behind the blue one. Those guys all have shut-offs. We got 2 white pipes just because those go through a room where you can kind of see them. So they just looked a little bit better, but otherwise everything's color-coded red and blue. Blue's return, not that it's really cold, but you know, it's cooler. Melissa labeled everything, and I think that's it for inside the house. As you can see, the trenches have come down a little bit. Had some rain the last couple weeks. Melissa got a fire going just because we're gonna need some coals when we actually start the fire. And one thing you didn't see is that we pressure tested this thing. Put an air compressor in the house, pressure tested all the stuff inside, pressure tested this stuff just to see if it was leaking. Didn't seem like it was leaking. We had to pH test our water just to make sure it wasn't too acidic. We did that. Now we got to put some additive in there, and then we can finally fill this bad boy. We got the water level up to almost full, like about an inch shy of full. I didn't go all the way, just thinking there might be a little bit of expansion. At the first fire going, there was a little bit of desperation, moving coals in there and everything, but it's going. There is a little electronic gizmo. It's like a little high tech for my taste, but basically it's bleeping that the water inside here, 250 gallons of water, was up to about 91 degrees now. So it's kind of slowly going. And the burn percentage effectiveness or whatever is at 52%. I think this is supposed to get up to like 100% right now, but I'll show you the flame just so you can see what's going on. Everybody likes a good fire, so let's take a look. That's burning pretty good. I didn't fill the box totally just for this first fire, just because I'm trying to like create some coals and stuff, and I'll keep checking it. I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. And that little handle right there that I just pulled, it just opens a door back there. It just allows the smoke to go out that way. Typically the smoke kind of goes down and under and back around. Burn, baby, burn. And this is what we got laid up right here for firewood, but we do have some more wood sheds back behind the silo. Outside of the boiler, the water temperature is 130. It's just kind of warming up still. And inside, radiators are 127. This one's 120. Dog's 89, 88. And on my to-do list is to like insulate all this stuff inside the house, just so we're not getting heat loss. And then in terms of how much heat is getting sucked out of the system via the radiators, when the water comes in, the pipe is 135 right now, and then going out it is 122. So about 10, 12, 13 degrees. About 2 hours in, heater is at 183, 182, and the water coming in is like 170, 168. Going out of this radiator, 162. So you're getting like 8-degree drop in one radiator. But it feels good now. Now it's like cranking. And then looking out the boiler, I think it's probably at full temp now. And there's like a little bit of smoke coming out the top. It's got a system where it kind of eats its own smoke. That seems to be working pretty good. About 2 hours in, water temp's at 188, and heated up, the water level just came in like perfect at the fill line. So I was thinking I might have to add more water, but that's topped up. I should probably remark on the fact that this video right here, it's a little bit like a how-to video. It's a little bit DIY, but with that said, it's still just a story of how we did it. It's not necessarily how you need to do it, but just what we did. Appreciate you checking it out. And if you have any questions about our wood boiler system, recommendations, any of that stuff, just hit me up in the comments down below. I mean, the ladder with the hose, it's just not right.